Hi guys, as promised, I will be giving you some feedback on what the Super AI conference was like last week. I went to Singapore and spent 2 full days just listening to all these amazing, super smart people regarding artificial intelligence, what is out there, what do we need to brace ourselves for, and basically just to get my head around what is this AI thing. Now, first of all, just so you know, the reason I went, I'm a business analyst, I'm a business analysis trainer and coach, for those of you who may know me. So my main interest was to try and work out what does this mean for business analysis? What does it mean for business analysts? Are we still going to have work to do? When will our jobs be replaced or changed? And how? Specifically, how will it be changed? So that was the lens that I went with. But they definitely bombarded me with a lot of additional things that I didn't really prepare myself for. Very interesting. And what I'm going to do now is I've got lots of photos that I took. I've got a bit of video that I'm going to share with you. So just sit tight. I will cover some of the key things that they showed me, key AI capabilities and things that you really should start to take notice of. But also then at the end of the video, I will summarize the key things that's the most important takeaways for me coming from it as a business analyst. And then finally, I will answer the question, what's going to happen with us as business analysts? How can we position ourselves in the best possible way for the future with AI coming as fast as it's coming? So do yourself a favor, watch this video. Just keep in mind, it's quite a rough video. It's not polished. I don't know everything. I literally just took a lot of stuff on board and I'll be delving deeper into some of it. But I want to share with you some of the slides and some of the amazing robotics that they shared with me. So here we go. Let's dive in. Great. So as you can see here on the screen, I've got Desdemona. She was the humanoid robot that literally greeted me as I walked into the conference. I wasn't prepared for her. I certainly wasn't ready to meet a robot that can talk and that can blink their eyes and look at me as if she was a real person. She really confused my senses. And I wrote a newsletter about her last week. So maybe go check it out if you haven't read my account of meeting Desdemona. Very, very impressive. But this is not about Desdemona today, but I did want to you just to show her to you and to prompt you to go and check out that news that I did write about her. But anyway, so for this particular video, like I said, it's a quick whistle-stop tour of some of the topics and some of the really interesting robotics and capabilities that they covered, and also the future of business, and specifically the business analysis side of things. How do we fit into this AI world? So the key things that I want to discuss and that you'll see as I run through all of these slides at the speed of light is the role of technology versus business, or rather, where are business in relation to technology at the moment globally? So the people that came to this conference, they are absolutely at the forefront of artificial intelligence. Most of them, not all of them, were technologists. So I was surrounded by all those wonderful techies, and I certainly felt like I was one of the few that came with a pure business kind of view on what was going on. Nevertheless, I absolutely loved it. I always love spending time with techies. And yes, I tried my best to understand as much as possible. So here the main message is technology is way ahead of business. So the technology is there. Businesses are quite slow to adopt. But I will talk to you about why that is and where we will play a role. And then, of course, data. You might have heard this before, but data is the most valuable future asset for any organization. And this is something that you should pay attention to in terms of your career. But I'll talk to you more about that as well. So let's now see, what exactly did I see when I went? So I'm going to share with you just a bunch of slides, and some of it will make sense, some won't. But I thought that it was important to maybe just point out, which will give you an idea of how fast this is moving. At the moment, models that are currently being trained, they are spending about a billion US dollars this year just on training AI. And they project next year it will be starting to go up to 5 billion or even 10 billion that will be spent on basically training AI. So if this doesn't show you the speed of how AI is moving, then I don't know what will. But then at the same time, everything is still very much up in the air and changing. So there's so many different things that's coming to light that needs to be considered. Energy usage, GPU, or what they refer to as compute. So compute is basically the power that's required for AI to run. And that is becoming more valuable than oil. You need to think about that for a moment. So it's going to shift basically the financial world as well. Suddenly, GPU power or compute will become basically the oil of today. And then all these other aspects that I won't even pretend to fully understand, but all of these different parts of AI is still very much fluctuating. Here is really just a slide that is showing how OpenAI basically came 2023 or even before that. And everybody, all the big companies have starting to rush to try and keep up with OpenAI that delivered ChatGPT to us. Everybody tried to keep up. Now there's a big boom of billion-dollar startups all over the place. And a lot of it is now being published in open source for everyone to use. So it's happening fast, and these are just some of the high level phases that we've gone through literally in a year. And I thought, well, this is quite a powerful statement that Benedict Evans made. AI eats the world. So you can watch, he's got a very popular podcast, apparently he's an analyst, and he had a very interesting talk, more from a macro perspective as to how AI is effectively taking over everything in the financial world, the business world, and everywhere. So maybe go look him up if you don't know Benedict Evans. He was certainly an interesting speaker. Then, just to let you know that we had Edward Snowden also zoomed in, and he had his opinion about, the macro view, once again, looking at compliance and ethical use and all of those types of topics. So it was quite interesting to have him as part of the conversation. And then being surrounded by technologists, they, and maybe some of you are big fans of June, or the book June, that was written in 1965. And he said, once men turned their thinking over to machines in the hope that this would set them free, but that only permitted other men with machines to enslave them. So this is kind of being posted there to alert people, to the big companies or the big tech, that we don't want big tech to centralize all of the AI and basically take over control. And that there's a very big push within the entire AI world and community to decentralize everything. And that's where blockchain is actually stepping in, and Web3 technologies to help enable that. And then just before I jump into all of the robotics and having a look at some of the fun stuff, this was also an interesting quote about us as humans. So we are intelligent, not because we can do one thing particularly well, but because we can learn to do practically anything. So let's have a look at what some of the robots out there have learned to do particularly well, but there's other things they just simply cannot even start to do. So this was a very, I think it was Hanson Robotics, if I'm not mistaken, that was sharing some of the robots that they've developed to do specific things. And this particular robot that you see here was developed based on a mountain goat, capability to go into or climb high mountains in really rocky areas. So they tried to mimic that with the way that they've designed this robot so that this robot can go to places within, big industrial buildings where it might be quite unsafe for humans to go. And it's done that successfully and has been deployed around the world on oil rigs and things like that, helping to basically minimize human risk by asking these guys to go in and do all of the necessary maintenance. Then, being technologists, they put a lot of emphasis on the fact that to be able to develop these robots, they really do need to stay creative and have a lot of fun. So they did this video with Mick Jagger, basically where he's dancing with a robot. That was quite cute. This is another robot that they showed where they taught the robots to help in warehousing and being able to pick things up a lot faster and a lot more efficiently than people. So that was just another one of those. This is more of a vision of the future. So this slide was in the context of using robots to help us in areas of our lives where we may not be able to be as mobile as we once were, but using these robots to help us to still enjoy the beautiful things. Like in this case, they've got an example of somebody who may not be able to walk anymore, but because of the robot, they can still go for a walk in nature with their dog. And another one where a humanoid type robot humanoid type robot could help you, maybe the frail people, to make sure that they can still have a good quality of life and have somebody there to always be there to help them when they need them. So these are just some of the visions that they have for some of the uses of what we could use some of the robots for. Here is just a whole host of pictures. You could have a robot helping to pick up after everybody at home, or here, what are we doing? Something is being built. There's a robot that can do some cooking. Then we've got one that can wash your car potentially, or do help maintain your car, or even do the washing. So these were just some fun images of use cases for some of the different styles of robots that could be developed. But now the question that was raised was, are humanoid robots actually a good idea? Now, nobody really has the answer for that at this stage, but they are being developed, and I guess we will find out. So some humanoid robots that's currently being developed in China, just a couple of images of some of the different companies and what they look like. Then some in the USA and what they look like. So there's quite a lot of humanoid robots being developed around the world. And then the one that I don't see here is the Tesla one, Optimus. I think that's a really cool one, but yes, so lots of them being developed. So just a very quick point around crypto and the decentralization capabilities that blockchain offers. Basically, what they were saying in a nutshell is that while some of us might feel like AI is out of control and nothing can be validated, everybody is suddenly an artist or a creative writer or whatever, what they're saying is that crypto can balance that out for us, and the blockchain can balance that out for us to enable decentralized validating and ensuring that AI basically always get that validation by being part of the crypto network. So these two technologies working together could establish a really good foundation for us to still be able to essentially control what information is being shared. Is it real? Is it valid? Is it authentic? And so forth, by using blockchain technology. So just something, a small little nugget. Lots to learn around that. And like I said, the guys that were hosting this conference, they are at the top of their game. They fully understand the technicalities that I may not fully understand yet. I'm finding it fascinating though, and I think all of us should learn a lot more about not only blockchain technology and AI technology, but how these two things could work synergistically together. So here we basically had a conversation about how will you become successful within the new era of AI. And leader-led transformation is kind of looking at the change management side. There will be huge disruption. But somebody said something really valuable that I thought we should all really hear. And that is that, yes, some of us might lose our jobs, and I don't know who exactly, but some professions will maybe be completely replaced by artificial intelligence. But at the same time, artificial intelligence is such a big change that it will generate new opportunities. Human beings are extremely creative, and currently we are using all of our mind power and brain power basically just to perform the tasks that we know and the jobs that we know and the professions that we know. But the moment AI takes that from us, we will start creating new things using what is now possible. We may not know what that is right now in some cases, but have enough faith to know that the human capability is there. So just think of it like that, because there will be a lot more opportunities being created. Just look through history, how we continuously kept on innovating. So it's inevitable. The other very important point, like I kind of hinted at the beginning of this quick video, is maximized use of data. So an organization's data will become like almost the most valuable resource. And they will use that data to build their own local AI solutions that they can sell. So data is becoming super important and super valuable for organization. And then this is us. We need to be willing to change. People don't like change, but this is unfortunately going to force us to change, whether we want to or not. So let's be open to it. And the more open and willing we are to change, I think the smoother the ride will be. So just as I said before, yes, data is now absolutely an asset. I mean, in the first version of the internet, it was basically just the static information that we could all use. Then the second level of the internet became information, became data as well, and we generated data using e-commerce and so forth. Now, in the third version, Web3, data will become an asset for an organization. So this is really making data basically the gold of the next era. And as I hinted at before, organizations will use their proprietary data to build smaller models and local agents within their organizations that will not only improve their own efficiencies, but will also become products or services that they can sell on to other organizations and individuals. But there is a fact at the moment, 72% of company applications are disconnected. So for AI to work really well, you want everything connected and you want data to flow and data quality to be there. So there's a big gap there, and that is partly why organizations is finding it quite intimidating to onboard AI at the moment. It's quite complex. So this is an example of one application that's been developed called Einstein. Einstein Copilot. And essentially, all I want to show you here is I don't fully understand everything about this particular application. But what is important is it takes CRM capability, it takes artificial intelligence, and it takes data and trust of the company and the brand and comes up with a solution. So once again, AI will be there. Data becomes super important. So my takeaways from this conference, and not just me actually, McKinsey was there and they were talking about this as well, is that a lot of businesses are noticing AI. They may even do proof of concepts, but they are not quite adopting it yet because of some of the reasons that I've just covered. Technology is there, it's flying, as you can see. The capability is there to a large extent. And technology is therefore far ahead, and that's why they've got these conferences running. Business need to catch up to start putting AI business-focused conferences out there for us all to be able to catch up. Integrating AI is dependent on quality data like never before. So if you used to work to the fact that garbage in, garbage out, it's the same thing here with AI. If we want to build proper local agents and proper AI models for organizations, they will need their data to be of a high quality and ready to be able to integrate into AI. Yes, so as I say, data is not quite ready yet for AI, and data is everything in the future world of AI. So organizations know this and they'll start to have to act on it. AI implementations for many organizations will be complex because of that. So technically, AI implementations will be quite complex to do, will be time consuming, and it will take a lot of work. There will also be a lot of disruption. So technical challenges will exist for implementations, and change management will be huge because people will be disrupted. The way they work will be disrupted. The value they provide will be completely changed. So that's huge for the future. And unfortunately, as we all know, the genie is out of the bottle. So technology is just accelerating. So the faster we can catch up, the better. So what is the future of the business analyst? Before I went to this conference, I was worried. I was really kind of concerned that we will just literally be replaced instantly. Now I feel a lot calmer in a way because I can see that there's a lot of work for business analysts. However, it has to be a business analyst that is future ready. And a future ready business analyst is somebody that understands data, understands AI, how to implement AI, how to interpret AI, how to train AI, and how to basically adapt project methodology to accept AI. And then, of course, change management will be a massive part of our role as business analysts to help organizations remain competitive, remain successful by helping the people in the organization to change with this technology. It's not going to be easy. It will be harder for us. So we have to not only develop technical skills, we also have to develop much stronger soft skills. Those are the two areas that I see, based on what I've learned, the focus for business analysis should be. And I hope you've enjoyed this whistle-stop tour. I have just given you everything I've learned. Everything's going fast. So all I can say is AI is here to stay. I'm working on a program to share how we can prepare ourselves as business analysts for this future. So keep an eye on what I do. Reach out to me if you want to know more, and I look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you for listening. See you soon.